What is up, YouTube? That's here, and today I'm proud to be bringing you guys the best competitive VGC 2020 Blissey team and moveset that you have ever seen in your life. You guys, for those of you guys who don't know, this is a weekly series on this channel where we show super serious ranked teams that actually have the potential to impact the metagame and actually push for rank 1. If you remember, the first week that we did it, we did the hyper offensive Dracovish team with the Alakazam Barraskewda set. The second week, we did something a little bit different with Porygon Z. That was actually a lot of fun with multiple redirections with Gmax Snorlax. And today we're actually taking a look at a Rain Blissey hybrid that uses an offensive Blissey. I know a lot of people hate seeing Chansey, they hate seeing Blissey, they don't want to get minimized spammed. I'm going to show you what we're using today. We're going to be using a Serene Grace Blissey that uses offensive attacks and has full special attack investment. This thing hits like an absolute truck, and when you Dynamax it, it just has so much HP, so much raw stat power that it can just live any attack, even physical fighting attacks, because we're holding a Chople Berry. If you guys want to see a rental code as well as a full pace spin as well as a full team breakdown showing exactly why I'm going to be using the moves that I'm using, stick around to the end of the video so you can actually use that, or check out the description. I like it when people watch the whole video, because then, I get a little bit of ad revenue out of that. But you know what? Without further ado, we're going to get right into the games. I want to say overall, I really do like this team, actually. Blissey is one of my favorite Pokemon, especially this offensive Blissey. We're using a really cool, bulky Kingdra set. We have a Perish Song Marowak that works really, really well. The Lightning Rod of Marowak goes really well with the Rain Core, as well as the Ghost typing with the normal type Blissey. Ferrothorn works wonders here. It's a great Pokemon to stop all the things that deal with rain, as well as deal with a bunch of other really, really common threats like Porygon right now. And last but not least, Grimmsnarl is an absolute beast. I'm loving this Grimmsnarl set. I think it's so good. And the only real change is that we took off the Thunder Wave for Spirit Break, and Spirit Break is going to help us a lot more against Gmax Lapras to further lower their special attack. It's going to help us versus Primarina, and it's really, really going to help against, a lot of Pokemon like Urshifu, which are really popular right now. A lot of Pokemon like Terrakion, which are pretty popular right now. So, and another reason we're not using the Thunder Wave here is because we don't want to, go for a big Thunder Wave and then have a Marowak on the board and then redirect our own attack. So I actually really, really like this set. If you guys like this set and you guys like this series that we're running once a week on Fridays, let me know in the comments. We're trying to get to 200 likes. 200. I know it seems like a lot, but the last one got 200. The first week got 250, and the second week got 110. So let's see if we can go for an even 200 with this one. I would really like it if you guys left a like, left a comment on the video. Without further ado, though, let's get into the games and let's see if we can actually get some solid wins with this team and then break down the rental code. So let's go play some games. All right. Yo, have we seen that team before? That looks a lot like the team that I made, doesn't it? Doesn't that look a lot like the team that I made with Barraskewda Zam and then the Zam Meowstic and the Meowstic Charizard? That looks like someone that might watch my content. So let's actually see how do we want to deal with this. I'm actually a pretty big fan of leading Ferrothorn in this situation, because Ferrothorn's super good versus Barraskewda, versus Guard, versus most Urshifu forms, and versus the Zam. So you actually want to lead with the, I think you actually just want to lead Kingdra Ferrothorn. Also note that Ferrothorn's super slow, so if I want to switch out and do my weather and stuff like that, I would always be able to get my weather up last, which doesn't really matter in this matchup because there's no other weather setters, but I do think it's actually pretty nice. And if he wants to lead Meowstic Zard, I think that we're just fine leading Kingdra against that, forcing the Sunny Day, and then just we would probably switch out for Blissey. I think Blissey's still kind of nice here, especially against Zam. Blissey's pretty nice against Zam. Blissey's pretty nice against, actually it's pretty nice against Barraskewda. You need close combat, and it doesn't even KO because we have the Chople Berry. It's good against Guard, and against Urshifu, we have Chople Berry, so I think we're okay. I think these are good 4. I don't think you want screens here. I think screens are a slow loss in this matchup. I really only have the Grimmsnarl to force them to respect my Thunder Waves, to force them to respect my screens, which means if they have Brick Breakers, if they have ways to deal with that, they would be bringing them. But I think this person is just someone that watches my content. Whatever team that is just one that is super inspired by the teams that we made last week. And, we made that really cool Barraskewda Zam team. We've used Meowstic Zard. We've used pretty much all those techs and Barraskewda Zam. So what he's going to want to do here is go Dynamax his Barraskewda, set his Psychic Terrain, and then his Zam just kind of rocks our world. But I think we're actually just okay against it. I'm pretty sure the way that we beat that is, let me actually think about how I do want to beat it. Because, this is actually just a really good board for Ferrothorn. What do you do against Ferrothorn with this board? If I actually were to just go, protect my Protect with my Kingdra, and just go like really, really big, like max Ferrothorn, I'm thinking. And then next turn, if you wanted to switch, if you have the Zard, like you don't have Zard with this board. Like with that board, you don't have Zard. And I'm 100% sure about it. And I think just protecting with the Kingdra for one turn is actually really, really nice. I could have switched in Blissey, but I want to be able to soak the max terrain with a protecting Kingdra that actually has a lot of investment in specialty. Not specialty, in HP. So we're actually going to be able to make him do like not that much damage at all. And then Kingdra's not going to take that expanding force damage either. And if you want to go for like a max Nook off your Barraskewda, it's not going to do anything to this Ferrothorn. It's going to be like 30% tops. And you're not enabling your Alakazam. Alakazam could be something running completely different and running like Taunt and things like that. And so I actually think like Dynamaxing your Ferrothorn sometimes can be super valuable, especially at dealing with teams that can't really break it. So let's see what we're actually going to see. We might see Ally Switches, we might see Taunts. Looks like Kingdra's going to pop the Protect first. Right, that's the numero uno best thing. Kingdra popping the big Protect. Mind Storms up. Yo, it's almost like I created this combo. It's almost like I created it and don't just want to like auto lose to it. It's almost like that, isn't it? And you may be thinking like, that's why didn't you just go after the Alakazam? Well, in the teams that I like to run, the Alakazam usually is sashed, right? They are usually sashed. So even if I switched out for Pelipper and stuff like that, activated the Rain, and were able to just one-shot the Alakazam, he has that big sash potentially. And so I'd much rather guarantee take away the terrain, KO the Barraskewda. Do you see like how ahead I am right now? Like, do you see how ahead I am? Oh, we actually didn't KO. I thought we were still going to get the KO. I really thought that would get the KO. You know, shout out to them for running a correct Barraskewda EV spread. I think mine is super bulky too, but we took away the terrain there, right? That was the important part of that. I do think I'm just going to switch out the Kingdra for a Blissey and do a relatively similar play. Get my leftovers proc. But yeah, taking away the terrain is the really important part about that. So let's just switch our Blissey in. It should be able to mitigate a lot of this damage. And if you want to ever set Rain, I kind of just win. If we still have to Overgrowth, unfortunately, I'd love to Steel Spike, but I think we have to just go for an Overgrowth. And if they want to go for like a Max Guard play, I think that's fine. They don't really get anything off this board. We're wasting both of our Max turns, and actually I don't need my Max for anything other than making sure you don't get terrain up. Right now they're putting their big thinking cap on, trying to think about how they could actually get around this situation. If they had a Zard, they would have brought it at the lead, I think. They really just didn't expect me to go like heavy Ferrothorn. So switching out Kingdra for Blissey should be able to eat the Psychic terrain, you know, the Psychic Fangs, the Max Mindstorm or whatever, pretty well. Max Nuck, he's going for it. Yo, Max Nuck into our Ferrothorn. Hey, you know what? If you want to Max Nuck that Ferrothorn, be my guest, be my guest, be my guest. I'm about to restore a ton of health with this thing. We're going to be able to take out that Barraskewda. And I wonder what the Zam's actually going for. Like, just a Shadow Ball? That ain't it, Chief. He almost probably Shadow Ball the other guy, too. I guess nice try to actually nuke that slot, knowing we were going to switch our Kingdra. So good read from them. We will be able to take out the Barraskewda. And then next turn, I should be able to double up into the Zam. I'm curious as to what Pokemon they have in the back. It might be like an Urshifu or something. And I think I can kind of just eat the damage from this Urshifu with both my Mons. I'm thinking we just nuke into that slot. If it's the water one, that's really good for us. If it's the dark one, I think we're still kind of okay. We'll see, though. And all we really need to do at this point, though, is just get one tick of damage onto that Zam to break potential Sash, and then come in hot with, like, you know, just Pelipper, Kingdra, and win the game. Urshifu, there it is. It's almost like I play the game. Survey says it is dark. All right, dark is probably better for them. I don't have any rain up, though. So it's like, I think I'm just going to go for the Tri-Attack then. Tri-Attack into the Urshifu is fine. I think we just got to nuke the Urshifu. Like, this is powered up by the terrain. I don't think I need any more defense, necessarily. So I'm just going to go for the big damage. Boosted by the terrain, 140 base power move. You can Shadow Ball me all you want, Chief. Oh, it doesn't affect Blissey. I was not using... He thought I was going to use Ally Switch. And the Chople Berry comes in hot. The biggest berry of Chopples, making it so Blissey... Remember, close combat lowers your defensive stats. So, like, Blissey only having that one weakness to fighting means Chople Berry's so good on it. And I think he thought I was going to Ally Switch the turn. That's why he did go for the Shadow Ball. But bam, big damage. Yo, let me get a Suring Grace Pock while we're here, while we're young. Except we don't even get a Suring Grace Pock. But you know what? We were taking those guys out, and now now his two like big checks to like our Ferrothorn are pretty much gone. I really, really do doubt there's a Zard there. And one really cool thing about this team, the way that it's made, is if you have a Zard, you can't like break Blissey with a Zard and a Zam. That's kind of how it works. If you want to break this Ferrothorn, you're gonna need heavy fire attacks. And fire attacks are more predominantly special attacks. And Blissey doesn't really care about those, like, at all. Not even a little bit. And the reason we also duped into that, the reason we doubled into the Urshifu there also as well, just for people that are trying to understand the reason why. I really do think there's a sash on that Zam, but Urshifu's a common sash mon, even Gardevoir to an extent is a common sash mon, and so I really wanted to guarantee that we took that thing out. So Gardevoir can pack Mystical Fire. I think I'm just going to switch out my Blissey for Pelipper. He's probably just going to run this turn. Switch out Blissey for Pelipper just in case they do have that Mystical Fire. And I think I'm just going to Iron Head the Gardevoir. He's probably just running though, because I'm the best player that's ever played the game. Oh, he's not running. All right, cool. Well, let's see what you got, Chief. At this point, we just need to set rain so Kingdra can check Zam, and it'll also activate our Blissey's ability to go for like soft blows and things like that. Or sorry, for thunders. The big damage, you know, the reason we use it. So Mystical Fire, it's almost like I play the game. Ferrothorn should be able to eat this. Look at this. Lamau, look at that damage reduction. Look at it. It's almost like I play the game. We got that download complete. You can Expanding Force all you want, Chief. It's going to do good damage to Pelipper. But it'd be doing a lot more to, you know, both my mons if you had Terrain. So really big damage. Looks like no sash. Ferrothorn overpowered, getting that big critical hit. Another thing really important to note is that Iron Head is a lot better than Gyro Ball in this meta because mons are so slow. For the most part, most mons are slow. There's arguments we made back when like Dragapult and other, you know, really fast stuff was popular in the meta, and in previous formats definitely used Gyro Ball. But in this format, Iron Head is just a little bit better. So we're actually going to go for Hurricane just because we don't want to miss. And again, we're just going to go for an Iron Head because we don't really want to miss. You don't want to go for the Leech Seed because it can be blocked by Magic Guard on the Zam. And download complete. Don't try and use my own team comp. Don't try and use the That's a +1 tech against That's a +1. Do it and you're about to get stomped. So we take those wins. Let's go into another one though and see if we can use a little bit more Blissey in this one. I think that's a pretty good idea. I just want to say I went to look at his team because it's like, look at it. The Psychic Seeds Meowstic using like the same set that I used. Zard set, like, I think it was like Wide Lens. That's weird. But using similar set to what I used. Barraskewda, like similar set to what I used. I think that's like the exact same set, except for I use Poison Jab instead of the Close Combat because it's just better. Scarf Gardevoir that we actually were able to read. And then I think another really cool one was like the Zam set is Inner Focus, Wish, Sash. Like I talked about it being Sash and played around it being Sash. And it's the like exact same set that I use on my Zam. So it's really, really cool. They must watch the video. So if this is someone that watches the video, thank you for the game. And I love to see your spin on my team comp. Alberto. Is this Alberto Lara? That looks like a team Alberto would run. Alberto Lara, otherwise known as Cali's Sweeper, ranked 374 in the whole world. Pretty sure it's him. I'm pretty sure he just goes by Alberto. I mean, Blissey's good here. Let's be real. Let's be real and call it what it is. Blissey is busted here. I think Ferrothorn's also really nice here as well. Grim is good. I think Grimmsnarl is definitely usable here. If I could just set the screen with Grim, I'm in a great spot. But he could break screens with crits with Urshifu. I'm going to go Grim. I think I'm going to go Grim and Blissey with the ability to switch in Ferrothorn. I actually don't think that like Kingdra is that great here. I actually think that Marowak's actually a lot better. And so we're just going to try these four. I don't think that going Rain against someone as good as Alberto is the right play. I feel he'd be able to really abuse Pelipper. And then if it's just Kingdra, like Scarf Dracovish is pretty good if you can get like Scarf Dracovish in Tailwind outspeeds Kingdra. So if he just sees like Talonflame Dracovish, like we're super sad using Kingdra. Kingdra's also pretty sad versus Clefairy. I think we'd be better off just trying to fish for 2 KOs and then getting into a board state where we can use Marowak and just go for like a Perish Song in the game. Because right now, he's really tunneled on using like Urshifu Dracovish. And we brought some mons that can actually have a good matchmate. So it's like Grimmsnarl might actually be a maximum on this game for us. So yeah, we'll see. I think this is pretty good. I think we're leading with like Blissey Grim as well, which is super like sneaky. I think it's a really sneaky lead. And he's going to really expect us. Actually, I've played against Alberto enough times using the special Sweeper Blissey that he might know that this is the Blissey set that I like. But we'll see. I don't expect Corviknight off the lead. Yeah, PZ Clef is super, super good. I think I'm just going to screens it this turn. I think I'm just going to screens this turn. And I'm just going to start hitting the Clefairy. It's going to take a while, right? But, you know, I could also just hard switch out my Grim for like a Marowak this turn. I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, because like he's just going to max strike it, and I don't want to just die. I don't need to get a screen up that bad. And then we're just going to go for a Tri-Attack into the Clef. I could be Dynamaxing my Blissey right now. I don't think that's the right play. And then next now to switch out the Marowak for Grim to block the Dark Attack. And then he's wasted like a bunch of his max turns. If he actually wants to go for a Nasty Plot here, he's in just a great spot. Because if he Nasty Plots and I Light Screen, he actually still OHKOs me. And someone using like this high rank with this type of team that's named Alberto would probably do something that good. So we're actually just going to switch our Marowak here. Note that that's why we're not using the Thunders here. Looks like it's the Dark Urshifu, the right choice. Yeah, I can't really get through that Clefairy like at all. I wonder if he's actually protecting it this turn. That'd be so good. But he's not. Try attack. Let's go. Let's rock and roll. Big damage. When we get a bear, I'll take it. We take those. Clefairy's actually using a move. Safeguard. Yo, too late. I got my move in already. Alright, so Dark Urshifu is really nice here. I think we're just going to switch in our Grim. And I think I'm actually, like... Blissey doesn't really care that much. I think I'm just going to go for the Tri Attack into the Urshifu slot. I don't want to max right now. I don't really feel a reason to. And if he's going for the Dark Attack there, that's fine. He's probably just going for like a close combat. But we'll see. Helping Hand, yo, he wants it. Yo, talk about never lucky, no para. Wicked Blow, blocking that. Is he going for my Blissey? Nope, blocking that. Easy peasy. 100% crit on that move. Nice play. Tri-Attack's not going to do a ton. It's not. Because he has the Friend Guard boost from the Clefairy. But I think it's putting it within range for like a Spirit Break and a second one of those. I could even Dynamax this Grim if I really wanted to. I just don't think it's the right play. I think he's just going to go for the nuke into the Blissey here. And we'll be fine. Clefairy's paralyzed. We taking those. See, we're going for Chief. Wicked Blow into the Blissey? Yo, you ain't doing anything there. I mean, you can. You're going to hit it. It's going to do a lot, but like... I'm a Blissey, Chief. Didn't anyone ever tell you that? Didn't anyone ever tell you I'm a big Blissey with a big Spirit Break partner up from Grim? Oh my gosh, Grim is so good. People be sleeping on Spirit Break Grimmsnarl. It's like, what are you going to do? Can't use Thunder Wave, not going to set screens. And now I can set screens. And now you don't have your Urshifu anymore. More damage than the Clefairy as well. Now, no one's maxed yet. But, like, Porygon is not good against this. It's just not. Like, I actually think the right play exactly here is to just set the light screen this turn. And go for a soft boiled. I could even think about... No, I think we're at... Oh, I don't think you can kill our Blissey if we soft boiled here. And that, remember that Clefairy is at big para energy. So, Survey says Corviknight. This is a good spot for Blissey. I want to see if he might max the Corviknight this game. And like I said, he could still use the Nasty Plot here, which would be the right play on the Porygon if he had it. Shadow Ball, go for it. He thought I was going to switch out for Marowak. And that's what my team does, is it sets people up for those situations. Like, Blissey Marowak is so good synergy. We got a free heal. And we take those. We still haven't used our item yet. So, like, we could start Spirit Breaking that Porygon. We could start Foul Playing that Corviknight. I think I'm just going to start Spirit Breaking the Porygon. And I actually think I'm going to max. You know what? Let's nuke that Corviknight. I actually think it's the right idea. I think Foul Play is going to do 20-30%. And then we're going to go for the big max Lightning. The big Grease Lightning here. Let's go, Blissey. Literally popping it off. No Marowak today. And we got our light screen up. If you want to go for like a big damaging attack on my Blissey, you're going to be big sad. You might actually even be taunting the Blissey here. And like I said, today we deal big damage. We deal that massive Blissey damage. Let's go. Protect Porygon. Ha! Why would I care about your Porygon, Chief? I mean, I should be carrying your Porygon, but I don't. I don't care about it. Bulk up. Go for it. That's all you, my guy. That's so you. Big Blissey. Yo, ain't no way you're seeing this one coming, Chief. Foul Play. It's going to do decent damage. That's actually really good damage. And we might be able to KO here. Let's go. Let's go. Oh my gosh, that's so big. That's huge, actually. And it sets my setup for next turn as well. Let's talk about what we actually can do in this situation that would be problematic. Is that electric? Weakness policy. Okay, cool. It is policy. All right. Yeah, we're just gonna foul play again because he just got so many boosts. He can't kill both of us. He actually, I don't think can. It's better just to max lightning. I mean, the right play for him might actually be just max guard with the Corviknight. He's drawing Porygon Z for Clef. I don't think that this is enough damage, even if he does max, to mitigate all this damage. I also don't think that he can take out our Blissey with any of those moves. Roost. I should have max flared. That's a mistake from me. That is a mistake. But I think the foul play is actually just going to make it so I win. But max flare would have been the play for days. And then next turn you can go for redirections. Come on, Blissey. It's boosted by the terrain, my guy. The terrain. It's not going to KO. Max Flare would have, though. I'm so bad. It's all right. If he protects with this Clefairy, I'm so sad. I should have got the Max Flare. I threw. I just didn't want to set the sun. At least he doesn't follow me. At least he doesn't go for like the Protect Clefairy Roost. That would have like tilted me so hard. Yeah, he gets his Roost off there. That's completely fine. He's coming back with that Corviknight though. Do I have anything that actually checks that thing? Let's be realistic. Do I? I have the Flamethrower I haven't shown yet. We should be able to take out the Clefairy this turn. I might have to pop a like a low-key like Reflect or something. Reflect, like I know he has a plus. He's technically at +3 right now off that Corviknight. But he only has 2 months left, so no more switching. Yeah, I could still totally lose. That's my last turn max on Blissey. Like, I wonder if he'd go for Body Press. Because it wouldn't KO. He could still max with either of these. That's the big problem here, too. It just goes to show how good he actually is as a player, I think. So what do we actually have in the back? I have Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn beats the Porygon. Like, I know that. Marowak can do really good against either of those. I mean, I have the potential to go for a Perish if I can get off the correct Mons. I just want to see how many turns I have left on my screens. I have 4 turns on my white screen left. Yeah, I think you just got to go for the big Foul Plays. I mean, Foul Play plus Flamethrower might be enough to take it out. He might just go for a Hyper Beam or something this turn. He's going to be maxing for sure. I want to see how much damage Flamethrower can actually do. It's going to be super effective. Thunder would be more damage here, but like I don't want to miss, you know? It's going big Porygon. I'm actually totally okay with that. I think I'm okay with it because I have a freaking Ferrothorn back there. Like, what do you do against Ferrothorn and Marowak together? You can't use all your max attacks against both. Max Strike. He's going to be able to kill my Grim, though. You might not. That actually is going to lose me the game. Damn it, we almost won this one. It just goes to show just how good Alberto actually is. We had that game absolutely won, but like a couple misplays and gonna slowly lose it, I think. The only way that we get out of this, I think his Safeguard's gone. I think I have to burn that thing. I could also try and like burn the sorry, I can also try and like paralyze the Porygon as well. Like, what do we actually do? We have Protect on both these guys, but I don't think that actually is going to give me anything. I can try and set up the Perish, but I don't think he'll let me. Right? I don't think he'll let me Perish him, and I don't think I can actually last long enough to do it. And no more Safeguard either. He hasn't had that for a while. I think he would go after this guy. Do that means we try attack the Porygon trying to freeze it? I think it's probably my only shot. Let's see it. Let's see him go for the nuke. Like Dark Pulse block. Phantasm. Yeah, through it. It's fine. It's not an absolutely unlimited amount of damage. Gives a defense drop, which is actually kind of lame here. But it actually does help me because he can't go for like specialty drops because he doesn't have Dark Pulse. So it's actually nice for Ferrothorn. Get the Iron Head into my Blissey with the defense. He's at like plus 4,000. Oh my gosh, that's so bad. Okay, this is his last turn max. I think I have to hit a double Protect. I can't believe we're gonna lose this one, guys. I can't. I'm so sorry. I apologize. It just shows how good Alberto is, though. Oh man, if I just max flared that one turn instead of max lightning. Oof. I had to double Protect. There's no way. And I guess you actually have to Leech Seed that Corviknight, don't you? He probably has Body Press, doesn't really matter. I really also like that he did not go for the Body Press. He went for an Iron Head into the Blissey. Didn't miss my double Protect. Yeah, one of the best players in the world using one of the best teams in the world. And we almost styled on him with Max Blissey. We had a 4-stock to like 2 lead and we threw it. Oof. Now let's see if he doesn't have Body Press, like maybe we got shots or something. He has Brave Bird, so it's Iron Head, Brave Bird, but he has a weak. Like this is gonna do just way too much. Yep, 1 HP. I'll take that. I'll take it. Oh, we coming back. Let me hit my move though. Like maybe we do come back. Actually, we can't. We totally can't come back. He's just gonna roost me. almost come back. That weakness policy is what won him the game too. Like, weakness policy Corviknight is so saucy. Almost. Is there anything I could do at all? At all, at all, at all? He like one-shotted me from full. Don't think there's anything I can do there. I think I made the right play and like actually decided to like go after the Porygon that one turn, but like it didn't even work. If he roosts here, doesn't work. Yeah, we lost. There's no reason to even try and protect. But we tried our best. I just think the Alberto's way too good. Yo, living. Like, we would have walled that Porygon so hard. But the freaking Corviknight going for those big roosts. What if I just body pressed him this turn? Do you understand that like we would have won that? If I actually went for the body press. If I actually put the Leech Seed up on like the Corviknight, or on the Porygon, and I body pressed him that turn, if we had body press, we would have won. I'm gonna store hella health though. It's gonna be a lot of health back. Look at this. Look how much health we're getting, and we can like recover or we can protect next turn. I mean, don't act. I'm doing. Oh, did I miss my Leech Seed? Yeah, dude, that sucks. Leech Seed miss sucks. Whatever. We tried our best, guys. Getting a little bit never lucky. Hyper Beam to finish me off, yo. The BM. Maximum BM. Hate to see it. But it happens. I think we should just max Flare that Corviknight. I just didn't want to really max Flare. Just because, like, I didn't want to make it so if I had to go for Thunders after, right, they'd be less accurate. So that's why I decided not to do it, but in hindsight, it was, like, by far the right play. All right, Rain Mirror Match. Sign me up. This one has Talonflame and Porygon as well. And Centiskorch. Centiskorch is a little bit weird. I think Blissey's a great mon. I think I'm going to leave Blissey. Blissey's so good versus Talonflame. I actually think, like, Blissey Kingdra's really good because we can use their Rain against him, or we can set our own Rain and then make it so we, Blissey hits automatic Thunders. Ferrothorn's super good here. It's requiring you to go with those big fire types. I know you don't want to. And then I don't really think we need Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl is actually pretty decent against, like, Kingdra, though. I think I'm going to go Grim. I think I'm actually just going to bring the Grim, just because if that is Dark Urshifu, we can switch it on that to block the Dark attack, and then they usually kind of just sleep on the Grim, and then we can go for, like, Spirit Breaks. So I actually don't think we need Pelipper, because we can rely on our own Kingdra to set the Rain. And if they're not going Rain, if they're going like Urshifu, Porygon, Centiskorch, Talonflame, it's like, cool, Kingdra is just going to set its own Rain. It's going to be good. I can go for Max Guard Kingdra turn 1 if I want to, hard switch in my Grim to block the attacks on what will be a Blissey, go for Screens, Dynamax the Kingdra, you know, play a little bit of a longer game, but I think one that in the end will, you know, work out quite well. So Kingdra Politoed, yeah, of course they're going Kingdra Politoed. That is the lead, I would say, for this matchup. And if you want to go Kingdra Politoed, you're in for a bad time. Because I have what we in the biz call a Blissey. And Blissey has an ability called Serene Grace. Serene Grace says, boost the likelihood of additional effects occurring when attacking. Actually doubles them. So Thunder's 30% chance to para goes to a pretty good, you know, 60%. And it's a 100% chance to hit in the Rain. I really think they're going for the Wormwind into this slot. I think they're going for a Wormwind. Oh, he's going to protect. Okay, is he just scalding my Blissey then? Or is he going for like a Perish or something? Icy Wind maybe? Muddy Water, that's completely fine. So he actually sees that we have a Grim here, which is kind of lame. Actually get a free hit on the Grim too, that kind of sucks. Actually drops on the Grim, kind of sucks. Let's go, we're gonna do the same thing. That was actually a really good play. I wonder if that's a Specs Toad, because that's actually a lot of damage even in the Rain. It's the same play though. I mean, I could set a screen here. I think I'm just gonna switch to Kingdra in this turn. That sucks though. I wonder if he's going to make the right play and Airstream my Grimmsnarl. We'll see. That's actually a really, really greedy play. Because, like, that's giving away so much value, right? Because that play doesn't even really do anything. Like, if I maxed my Kingdra first and just went with that and I was like a full speed one, I'd be in such a good spot. Alright, so we're going to see Dark Urshifu, which is what I thought we were going to see. And here's my Kingdra. Are you going to be able to read this? It's going max. See, the thing is, the question is, like, are you going for, like, a max water attack or max like, Airstream into my Blissey? Or are you going for, like, an Airstream or, like, a Dragon attack or, like, a water attack into my Grim? Like, what are you actually going for? Because you'd actually need a water attack into my Grim to KO it if I just decided to set a Light Screen. You would need that. But I think he's going for an Airstream because he did switch in the Urshifu there. So we'll see which will be the right play. Light Screen or Airstream would be the right play. Yep. That sucks. We're actually getting super grinded here. Unless I get the absolutely massive para, which we're going to get. We're going to get it. Show me a life orb, please, so we're not afraid of one berry. Please. There we go. 60% chance para, boys and girls. 60%. Oh, yes. It is time for the 60% chance para. Means we just hit that King right in the face. And Dark Urshifu. Probably going to go after our King. I don't even need to max. I can just Draco Meteor it. I think it'll KO. Let's try it. You might try and go for a max guard too. So I don't want to waste my max. Sucker! Ah, that sucks. That's relatively annoying. You don't see that as often, and it makes me think that he's banded, because if I would have maxed, would have been fine. Second Airstream puts him out of range for a lot of our monsters. We're actually going to have to play a long game here. I'd like to get a full para here, though. This is still going to do a lot to an Urshifu who has a relatively low specialty stat. And again, that's 60% chance para. You can't put a price on it. You cannot. Let's go. Big damage. I think he's banded, though. I'd love a para. Oh my goodness, that big Blissey damage. Now we actually have to use the paras. Could set screens here. I do super like outspeed. I think I'm just gonna come with Ferrothorn. I think we're just gonna leech seed. Be fine. Because we know what he has those two plus Pelipper, or sorry, plus Politoed. We're actually in a really good spot. Like, I'm just gonna soft boiled. We don't need a max right now. And I actually think you just want to leech seed the Kingdra slot. I think Kingdra's more of a problem than Urshifu is right now. Just my opinion. I think Urshifu is a problem, but not one we can't deal with. So we can max guard away that next turn. We just attack the Urshifu like next turn. We'll probably be fine. Geyser's up. Yo, no paras. He's not using Suck Punch either, so he must be like Black Loss. Oh, he actually hit the Pharaoh. He's actually nuking my Pharaoh. That'd be super raw. Good thing I didn't go for the double switch in the Grim like I thought about it. There's the para. Yo, finally we get one para right. That's right. Soft builds up. I thought he was banned. That's why I actually went for the soft build, because I thought he was going to be going for like a Sucker Punch there. Because we've also just spammed Thunder every turn. And Leech Seed connections are made. That's value. Now remember, you can't block the Urshifu with a Ferrothorn. So you can't use like Protect to play around that. But now that we have like that ticking on the Kingdra, I think we're just in a good spot. I think he's going to close combat probably. Right? You would think that he's going to close combat. I think I'm actually going to switch the Pharaoh out for Grim. Let me actually think about that. If we actually leave the Pharaoh in, no, we're going to let him attack, and we're going to go for a Thunder there. Yeah, we're going to switch in Grim. Grim can soak that damage, and if he gets a stat drop, we'll be able to get the KO. And if he wants to attack the Blissey, he just loses, right? Because Troubleberry, well now. Hurricane, yep. I can see that targeting. I can understand it. I can respect it. Take that Life Orb damage, though. Close combat, yo, you love it. Oh! Yes! And that's why I said we didn't want to go after the Urshifu, because I plan on leaving that Kingdra up for a hot minute. That did so much damage. Is that a crit? Not just how much it does. Wow. Somebody's a strong guy. Good thing that we had a Troubleberry. And remember, he has a stat drop now, so we're going to be able to go with the big damage from this Thunder. Taking him out, and now he has Politoed Kingdra versus... Leech-seeded Kingdra. I haven't Dynamaxed yet, either. Remember that. I have not Dynamaxed. You want to send out that Politoed? Set my rain back up so my Blissey can just work you a little bit more? Maybe. Just maybe. And now our Grim's in a really good spot, too. Like, we got a Leech Seed taken for it. Super value. Centiscorch, okay. That thing has to go away. Don't know how I'm going to do it, but it does have to leave the board. Can't max it. I think we actually have to max like right here, like right now. It's the only place I want to be. I can even talk about maxing my, what if I just soft builded here? And like, went for a Reflect, and then next turn maxed. And we'll see. Centiscorch is super hard to deal with here. Can't believe we actually brought it. Hurricane, yeah. That's fine, we get a miss. Fire Lash. It's gonna get defense drops in my Blissey, so like it does suck, but like the fact we have a Reflect means we were kinda okay. And now we kind of just stole a Reflect there, and now we can just like double into that Scent of Scorch for like the rest of the game, I think. Like big, big value. And Kingdra's like checking out. Like our Grim is actually restoring a decent amount of health right now. I'm actually thinking if I want to go for like a big, like I'm actually looking at it like, I think that like Blissey just beats all these guys. Like I think if I actually switch into the Pharaoh and go with like a max Grim play, I think that might be actually enough to like take it out. Because I think Blissey just at this much health is just like value. Because I think he'll take me out. I could just max here and go for like, yeah, we're gonna max strike it as much as I don't want to, and then we're just gonna go for a foul play, and hopefully that's enough to like take it out. A crit Fire Lash would lose me the game, so that would suck if he crit Fire. Oh, he's actually gonna be weak in his Fire Lash here. That's actually really nice. He might be going for like a bug attack, but I do have a defense drop, which is mitigated heavily by that Reflect, right? But I didn't want to get like crit on top of it, and we're actually maxing the Blissey just so I don't like lose the game, right? I want to see if he's actually. And if he actually decides to go with the Protect and the Scent of Scorch, I think we outspeed with Blissey and Grim next turn. Because Scent of Scorch only has like a 65 base speed, so it'd be really nice if Blissey started outspeeding thanks to max strikes. But big Blissey, I told you, today we deal big damage. Big full special attack Blissey. I have like more health than a regular Blissey right now. Knockoff is pretty good, but we didn't have an item. We already used it. Well, now. And Foul Play is going to do so much here. So much damage. Max Strike should be able to finish it off. It's a 130 base stabbed full special attack. Alright, he's probably bested then. I was going to say he was probably bested just because we saw the knockoff, you know? But we should be outspeeding him now. I think the right play is still to nuke it, though. Like, there's nothing that Politoed can realistically do, I don't think. It's actually a better idea to go for the Max Lightning because it would get redirected into Politoed if Grim picked up the KO. And like I said, I don't think it can protect. It does protect, but Politoed protects, okay. But this is still going into the Politoed, so we're fine. All right, let's go. Awesome, like I said, the power of Max Strike Blissey compels you. Okay, Politoed, maybe you've heard of my joke. It's called Electric Terrain. Max Lightning, max damage. That's probably going to KO next turn. Realistically, it's probably going to KO. I can set the screen, switch in my Ferrothorn if I want. Blissey still has one more turn max, and it's at really healthy HP too. Let me think about how I do want to play this though. I think I'm just going to Spirit Break that Kingdra. I'm going to try it, and we are going to go for the Lightning on the Politoed, because I just don't see a way that he breaks our Ferrothorn. You want to Spirit Break because Kingdra's a special attacker. Kingdra's going to go for the Hydro. In the rain, yo, he hits it. We take those. I mean, he takes those. It's a lot of damage. It's quite a bit of damage. He's going to get the kill for sure. I could have set a Light Screen. I think that like that play was a little bit greedier for me, but I feel like I'm totally fine with this. Like, he's orbed. He is on a timer. And we outspeed that Politoed with massive damage. Oh my gosh, we almost just like one-shotted a Politoed with a Blissey. Oh, and he missed the Muddy Water. You know, I'll take those. Sometimes even I get a little bit lucky. Sometimes even a little bit lucky me. And then we win. Because you can't break this Ferrothorn. You can't break these cuffs. You can try and one-shot my Blissey with that Kingdra if you want. Like, I think that like a Hydro Pump crit might totally get you something. This is still stronger. Yep. And this will get the KO here. Like, try and protect Kingdra and like Politoed go for something. Okay, Politoed's gonna protect A. You know what? Shoot your shot, Chief. Can you one-shot my Blissey? You hit it, but I'm a Blissey. It's in the rain. You're life orbed. You got everything you want. But I'm a freaking Blissey, right? At the end of the day, you could do anything you want. You could throw the whole kitchen sink at me with special attacks. I don't need a single point of investment in specialty or HP, and I'm fine. Full HP, sorry, full defense, special attack, and I got what I need. And you know what? I'm glad we played another game. After that loss against Alberto, which was 100% my fault, I'm like, you know what? I just lost that game because I didn't fully embrace the Blissey energy, the Blissey damage. And so we just take it, and then we win. We just take it, we win. Oh, look at that value. Remember, we had the max strike up on that guy from earlier, so that's why he's still slower than us, but That's so big. He's going for big thunders, like Thunder Blissey. Like, if you guys want to see more Thunder Blissey content, I probably have about 40 or 50 videos on this channel using the same set, going all the way back to Gen 4. It's my favorite Blissey set of all time. And we're going to be taking a look at the rental code as well. So if you want to see the rental code for this team and then the full team breakdown where I go over all the EVs and I talk about all of the moveset choices and everything like that, stick around to the end of the video. We're going to hop right into the rental code section. Here we go. Hopefully you like the games. Right now we're going to switch over to looking at the rental code. You guys can copy that code, use it in your own games. As I always say, you guys should really try to get this rental code within the first couple weeks of me having it up. I can only have 5 rental teams up at a time. So, you know, if I have to make 5 more rental teams for the next 5 days for the content, that means this team will get replaced. So it's in your best interest, if you do like this team, to jot this rental code down, put it in your game so you can have it for as long as you choose. So yeah, the Choppleberry Blissey actually is so cool. I really do think that it's probably the best item for Blissey in VGC. I guess in singles as well for like, you know, like not really Smogon singles, but in like Battle Spot singles, it really just makes it so Blissey doesn't have any weaknesses, right? Blissey's only weakness is fighting attacks, and having that Choppleberry, it's even better than just not having weaknesses, because it baits people in for going for those fighting attacks, and the best fighting attack in the game is close combat, so baiting them in, and then they actually have to use a move which lowers their stats. You can pick up those big KOs with tri-attacks from the Blissey going to max strikes, or, you know, even the Grimmsnarl going for spirit breaks like we did against that Urshifu. It's super tech, and it's so rewarding when it works. You feel so confident and strong when you still have your Choppleberry up. But also, Soft Load, Flamethrower, Tri-Attack, Thunder. Thunder is an absolute amazing tech on this Blissey. Like I said, I've used this set in particular hundreds of times over the course of the last 10 years or so being a competitive player. I really do like the Serene Grace Thunder, Serene Grace Tri-Attack, Serene Grace Flamethrower. They're all super fun to use, and I'm really just happy that I was able to find a Blissey set that I was happy with. You know, going into Isle of Armor. I'm just really happy that this Pokemon is actually able to be used without being just a minimized bot, and hopefully you are too. Looking at the Kingdra set, it's pretty standard. We're going to look at our EV spread in just a moment. Marowak, very standard. This one's just a regular, just a bulk attack set. I was originally using a Marowak that had a lot more bulk in the special D slot, but I realized this team was a little bit lacking in the offense department, and so I decided to bulk up the Marowak's attack stat. But I'll talk about both sets in case you guys are actually wondering which one might be better. The Pelipper set, pretty standard. Note that I like the use of Hydro Pump over like a Scald, just because I think that Pelipper has a pretty decent special attack stat, so you might actually want to capitalize that if possible, and you can actually pick up some really big KOs with like a Rain Boosted Hydro Pump, where Scald just falls short. Ferrothorn, I'm running a super standard set for like Battle Spot singles. This is actually my same Battle Spot singles Ferrothorn you've seen me use all year, and I know a lot of people like the Iron Defense Body Press set. I'm not a fan. I'm not sold. If you guys like that set, that's cool. But I definitely feel that this set is the best right now, especially against like all the Primarinas running around. And last but not least, Grimmsnarl, G-Max Grimmsnarl, absolutely amazing. Love the Spirit Break tech, and I think more people should be doing it. So let's actually take a look at the EVs that we're running on this team. Let's take a look at the EVs we're running and go a little bit more in depth, because remember, the whole point of this series is not only, you know, building a team exclusively for YouTube, but building a serious team for YouTube. Building a team that can define the meta and actually, you know, become something that could push for rank 1 or have a lasting effect on the metagame. So yeah, we're going to look at this Blissey set first. I think Blissey is actually a really unique Pokemon, and it's the perfect example of a Pokemon that gives diminishing returns, right? A Pokemon that gives diminishing returns from putting points, like, I always talk about, yeah, put your points in your, you know, whatever stat has the highest base. You'd be getting so much less returns by putting your points in HP on this Pokemon that's just not worth it. It also has a 135 base specialty. Remember in one of those games we fought against, like, all those Pokemon that just didn't do any damage to our Blissey, even though we have like no investment. We have 4 points in Special D. We have nothing in HP, but we were still able to eat those moves like an absolute champion. Really being able to maximize how much defense we can actually get. And 75 base special attack is not bad, considering most of these moves are like, this is a base 110, this is an 80 base stab, this is a 90 that's usually either super effective or 4 times super effective on things. Blissey hits like a truck, especially in max mode, and it's something people definitely do not expect, and more often than not expect it, like they don't like respect it, and that's another big thing. A lot of people actually take the time to respect Blissey in other ways. Like you're going to see a lot of people go for fake outs, taunts, a bunch of weird stuff to stop Blissey from setting up, but this Blissey doesn't care about setting up. This Blissey just cares about shoving your face in. So hopefully you guys like this Blissey set, and hopefully you guys start using a lot more Blissey in your own games. And I also think like Ice Beam is another really good option here. I just didn't really want to include Ice Beam just because there's not that many things Ice Beam can currently hit that Flamethrower can't, and I don't want to change the weather to Hail. I sometimes don't mind changing it to Sun because we can pair that with Marowak. but I don't ever really want to change to Hail, just because I can also like break Pelipper Sash and stuff like that, and it's just not that great. We're gonna look at the Kingdra here, and I really do like this Kingdra set. I knew I wanted to go full special attack with nature, and one of the really good things about this is we don't actually have to go like full speed timid anymore, just because Kingdra's not as popular. So you're actually afforded the luxury of going a lot more into bulk, which you saw here. There might be a better way to do this. Maybe I could put like an expert belt on here so I don't have to have those life orb ticks. But I do just think overall this is a pretty standard set. I like these 3 moves in the protect choice. I don't think we really need Ice Beam here. I would like to potentially even put Sub on this set and think about putting Muddy Water here over Hydro Pump for the Colossal matchup. But I think this is a pretty standard set, and it has just enough speed to work outside of the Swift Swim while still having enough speed to work inside of the Swift Swim, while still outspeeding all those mons that can be like this would still outspeed a lot of Pokemon that were at like +1, even if they were in the base 100 or 110 area. So like a +2 Kingdra from the Swift Swim would still be outspeeding like a +1 speed like Gengar, a level 1 Raichu, a level 1 Ninetales, things like that. And so I just think this is a great way to actually like, when you max with your Kingdra, a lot of the time you're all in on that Kingdra. I know I talked a lot about, we really want to max our Blissey, we really want to max our Grimmsnarl and some other stuff. But when you max that Kingdra, right, you're all in on that. And so sometimes, like in the Kingdra mirror match, for example, you might be able to live an attack from their Kingdra or live an attack from, a bunch of other Pokemon. Like if we maxed our Kingdra and they max striked us with a Porygon, we would just live that because we have so much HP investment and Kingdra's base defenses are so high. And so it's little tweaks like this where you actually get to put just a little bit more points into HP or specialty or stuff like that that really just shows a better understanding of the meta. And I really just think this definitely pays off in the end. Marowak, perfect example of being a lazy person, is using a Marowak set like this. I actually had a Marowak set that looked like this for a long time, and I really liked it. I like this Marowak set a lot. It's very similar to the Snorlax set that I run. Remember, Thick Club is an item that Marowak holds that if held like Q1 or Marowak, its attack is doubled. So normally Marowak has a pretty low base attack stat, 80. It's not amazing. It's like a Flygon now. But yeah, we don't really need to have that much on Marowak. But again, this set was lacking a little bit. I actually also would cut off Flare Blitz for Ally Switch on this set. Was using it as mostly just a Lightning Rod Perish Song Mon with like Ally Switch to help the Blissey setup, help my Kingdra stay alive. But overall, I really just feel that the 252 set is fine with, this is actually supposed to be 0 right there. Like this one's supposed to be 0 and it's supposed to be reduced, but so you actually can still use the Perish Song. But I think it's a pretty good set. I do think that it goes very well with the team, and while I don't really necessarily need to bring Marowak a ton, Marowak still does its job in the team preview, which is the biggest real threat that it really brings to the table. It stops your opponent from going for those big electric attacks. It stops people from like, going for those big fighting attack spamming. Remember, we have Blissey and Ferrothorn. There's a lot of weakness to fighting on our team, and only, the one real resistance is Pelipper. Grimmsnarl takes neutral damage. Marowak has to be able to switch in on those max strikes or those max knuckles and just block all that damage. So I really think that Marowak is really, really good, and also it keeps other Ferrothorns away. It keeps, Dusclopses from ruining our day as well. You also can't Will-O-Wisp the Marowak because it is a Ghost Fire type. So I think Marowak's like the perfect Pokemon for this team, and Marowak Blissey just goes so well together. And I think I could optimize this just a little bit, but as it stands, you need to go full HP on a Marowak in my opinion, and you get double the attack investment from the Thick Club. And so normally you'd want to put points in like defense or specialty there. But like, since we're getting double the return on our investment on attack, I feel that for this set, it's fine to go full attack. Maybe if you guys have a better Marowak set and you have done some calcs, maybe let me know in the comments below and we'll definitely look at it. Pelipper, another 252 friend. I actually think this is a really old Pelipper set, and I don't think that it's optimal anymore. I don't think we need this much in speed, but I don't mind putting a little bit extra in speed if we're actually using it in Tailwind. Again, I really do think that like 65 is just a really cool number for base speeds right now because there's a lot of 60s. Like Lapras is a 60. I think Grimmsnarl is a 60 as well. Incineroar, who's not in the format, was a 60. Pelipper being a 65 would outspeed like all of those, which is really, really nice. And it would force them to go like 252 with nature to even like threaten the Pelipper that's this fast. And so I really, really like it. We weren't using a Sash Mine anyways. And I think the only other change here is that like a lot of people would actually still like to go Timid here. I don't want to go Timid. 95 base special attack is actually really good. So we want to go full investment on that. And we want it, like, 95 is the same as the Kingdra, right? It's the same as, like, Woody Colo. It's the same as Golduck. Like, Pelipper hits hard. People always like to think of Pelipper as, like, they always like to think of whatever Weathermon and a lot of weather teams are, like, the partner for whatever Pokemon you're setting up, Like, Torkoal sets up your Charizard, like, T-Tar sets up your Excadrill, to an extent. but like Pelipper is just as strong as this Kingdra, right? Like Pelipper is almost as fast as the Kingdra outside of rain. But like Pelipper hits just as hard. This Hydro Bump that Pelipper uses is the same power that Kingdra uses if Kingdra didn't have a Life Orb on it. So I actually think you can't really sleep on the Pelipper, and its Hurricane's stronger than Kingdra's because we stab it. So don't sleep on Pelipper. Respect the Pelipper. Also note that like a Hydro Pump from a Pelipper in the rain will one-shot even like a bulky full HP Special D Arcanine in the rain will still get one-shotted by a Pelipper Hydro Pump, whereas Scald won't one-shot and it would just proc their berry. So I like the Hydro Pump set, and I'm definitely a fan of it, especially on Sash sets. Keeping up the 2v2 squads, we have a Ferrothorn here, and I already talked a little bit about not really liking the Body Press Iron Defense set. I think this one's just a little bit better. Note that we're going plus Defense Nature, we're going Relax, but we're going Investment in Specialty. And the reason why I like the investment in Specialty, I think I talked a little bit about it during the video, was the things that check Ferrothorn, more often than not, are fire attacks. And other than Marowak running like Flurry Blitz, or maybe the odd Arcanine that still do run physical, you're going to fight mostly special attackers like Charizard, Ninetales, you know, like the Gardevoir we fought there using fire attacks. And there's all special attacks, right? So investing in Special D while also having the rain to cut those special attacks means we can just eat fire attacks. And it forces our opponents to really tunnel into those physical attackers that use close combat. If they're going to be doing that, they're going to be close combating our Pelipper, our, you know, our Marowak, our Blissey, things we want them to try and close combat. And remember, we have Pelipper and Kingdra that both have Hurricane, so we can really punish those Pokemon. And so a lot of the times, yeah, we're a little bit weaker on the defensive side. We still want to go Defense Nature, so we can get the actual value from having that really, really high base defense. We're putting our Nature to working in that 10% to give a lot of a boost. Like, look at this. Look how much points we lose. We just take our Nature away. That's a lot. That's like 15 points. That's actually really significant. And we don't need any more points in the Special D. Like, we're really just using it there. Like, if I were to do it this way, if I were to try and hit that number without using my Nature, so 166, I'd have to put in like 150, 132. What is it? 166, right? So it's like 124. No, 116. So like 116. 116. That's a lot of investment. So imagine like this was at 168. If I were to take this out and go like, I guess we'd have the same number. I'm an idiot. All right. Well, you would do it either way then. You would do it either way. Apparently, it's the exact same. Oh well. You learn something new every day. You learn something new every day. But this way, actually, the way that I did it was easier. Aha! I came to the same conclusion. It was still easier to do it this way. They hit the same numbers if we were to do it both ways. So like, if I were to go like 116 without Nature, as opposed to like, and then 114 here, as opposed to just 252 and then Nature over here. It's the exact same way here, but this way's faster. Yeah, me and Elithrid, one of our mods, had this conversation one time. So anyways, long story short, we don't need any more specialty. You might as well just put the rest of the points in defense, make the Nature do a lot of the work, and make the EV training easier. Ferrothorn's busted. It's really good versus the Primarina matchup, which can be a problem. Really good versus Dracovish, which can be a problem. Really good versus Sylveon, which again can be a problem. So I really think it's a great Pokemon. It's also ready against Psy-Spam, which I think we fought one of the Psy-Spam teams today. So case in point, Ferrothorn's really, really good, and this set, even though it's an old one, is still perfect. Last Pokemon on the team is going to be G-Max Grimmsnarl. Remember to make sure your Grimmsnarls are G-Max because sometimes you got to go for that G-Max snooze and they lose. Last up, I think the only really important thing about this set is that you want to go heavy Special D because we're more afraid of special attacks on this team. We have correct typing to block physical attacks. We want to tunnel in those physical attackers so we can take them apart because like the current Season 6 meta, the only like physical attackers right now are like Urshifu's, you know, and let's see, we got Urshifu's and other fighting types, you know, like Terrakion and things like that. Like Grimmsnarl actually wants to pick those apart. And so we don't really want to waste points in defense, especially because we can reflect if we want to. You get a bigger bonus off putting your points in your Nature on your specialty side as well. So might just go heavy on that specialty side so you can actually deal with a lot of the heavy special attackers in the meta. And I really I'm a huge fan of the Spirit Break. I love it. And 100% chance to lower the target special attack by 1. So it's like a single target Snarl. It's a 75 base power. Grimmsnarl has a massive 120 base attack stat, so it's actually really, really good. And you can also Dynamax, go to G-Max, and actually set a Misty Train here with this. And I didn't get to do it today, but like sometimes when you lead like Grimmsnarl Kingdra or like Grimmsnarl and something, and you're like, crap, they're gonna spore me with an Amoonguss and I cannot stop it. This can stop it. This can definitely stop it if you have to. So I do really like this Grim style set, and I really just like the last 12 points in speed. We were talking about it in a lot of the team building videos this week. I want to really drive it home to you guys that when you're using a team, it's really important to put the last like couple points into speed if you can. Obviously with Marowak you don't want to. With Blissey we actually didn't want to. We actually want to underspeed things if possible. For the most part, because like the Marowak and the Blissey, you want to be able to perish things. But for the Grim, like 60 is super important number to outspeed things. Like you want to be able to outspeed that Lapras. You want to be able to outspeed a lot of those Pokemon. And just putting 4, 12, 20, 28, 36, things like that. It's a really important threshold to hit, and I would highly recommend it if you're trying to fine tune your teams. So other than that though, that is the rental code. Hopefully you did like this team. Again, we're trying to work on this series once a week, usually on Fridays or Saturdays, where I try and build a serious team that really reflects my own playstyle that I think can actually climb the ladder, have an impact on the ladder, and then more importantly, explain to you guys my thoughts behind the team. I feel a lot of other content creators aren't really doing a good job of explaining the reasons why they're doing things. Yeah, they can all be great battlers, but if not explaining why they chose the moves or the EVs that they chose or the team comp that they chose, you guys as viewers aren't going to get any better, and so it's up to us as content creators to set the best example, and so that's why we're deciding to do this series. If you haven't yet, please think about leaving a like or a comment on this video because we're trying to get it to 200 likes. I hope we can get there. That'd be really nice if this series actually took off. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.